My name is Steve Johnston and I am excited to be with you today to tell you about this phenomenal company, eXp Realty, the fastest growing real estate company in history. And as you're going to learn today, the reason that they're growing so fast is that the model that they use and compensate you, the agent, with gives you an exit plan. Now, what does that mean? Well, in simple terms, it means that it gives you a way, by doing what you're already doing as an agent, to build up a significant dollar-based asset in the form of shares in eXp, which is a listed company on the NASDAQ stock exchange, and by giving you the chance to build up a significant passive income through their revenue sharing model, which I will explain to you later today. And then the third thing that eXp's unique model does is it gives you, the agent, the freedom of running your own business, but without the many encumbrances of owning and running a real estate company in South Africa. So without having to rent and own office space, without having to be an NQF level 5 principal, or register a company, or have a trust account and have all the audits every year, or to register for VAT and do all the VAT returns. Or when you're building a team, you're not going to have to take legal responsibility for the agents, or organize training for the agents, or software systems, or CRM packages. All of that stuff gets taken care of by eXp. So you have all the benefits of running your own business, but without all the hassles and expense that come with it. So eXp really does offer an incredible combination of benefits, and I am excited to tell you about it today. My background, I'll be super brief. For 20 years, I've been a real estate sales trainer. My speciality has always been lead generation, specifically how to work by referral. I've trained tens of thousands of agents through South Africa, and we've coached through my organization hundreds and hundreds of South Africa's top agents one-on-one. So the background to my exposure to eXp is that in 2020, I got a call from an ex-client of mine now living in Canada, asking me to take a look at a real estate company that was going to be launching in South Africa later in the year, named eXp Realty. Now, I had never heard of eXp Realty at the time. As it turns out, they're a US-based real estate company. They were about 10 years old at the time. But I do get approached a little bit by companies wanting me to promote their stuff to the real estate industry, and so I usually just decline those offers and politely get on with my day. But in this case, something that he told me about this business did intrigue me. Something about their technology and what that's meant as far as their growth is concerned. And so I started doing a little bit of quiet homework into eXp, and I've got to say, the more I found out about this business, the more I was absolutely blown away by this company. So as I have learned, they are, as I said, a US-based real estate company. They are the fastest growing real estate company in history. They have smashed every record set by their predecessors on growth. Initially Remax and then Keller Williams after them became this global phenomenon. Well, eXp have come on the scene and smashed all of their records, particularly over the last 6 or 7 years. They have had unprecedented growth. 7 years ago, they had 500 agents. That number is now over 50,000 agents, and listen to this, they have 1,000 agents joining them globally every week. So it's like eXp have hit this tipping point and they are taking over the world of real estate. They are now expanding globally. In the last year alone, they have opened in 9 different countries, and South Africa is one of those. So it is brand new, early days, a ground floor opportunity in this country, which is exciting. Now, the reason they're growing so fast is that they own a piece of technology that makes them far more profitable than any other real estate business, which in turn allows them to compensate you, the agent, in a far more lucrative way. And I'm going to explain their model to you today to see how that works. And as you're going to see, this is a completely market disruptive business model. This is not just another real estate company under a different banner. This is a complete market disruption. It's a bit like what Uber did to the taxi industry. They don't own any vehicles, and yet they're now the biggest taxi business in the world. Same thing with Netflix. They don't own one DVD, and yet they've taken out every single DVD store, including the DVD store you used to go down and get your DVDs from. Airbnb is another example. They don't own one property, and yet they are worth more than Hilton hotels. This is what eXp have done in the real estate sector. They have completely changed the paradigm of real estate, and you're going to see how that works today. So eXp was founded in 2009 by a tech genius named Glenn Sanford. Glenn Sanford had built a $60 million real estate business himself, working as an agent. I think he was with Keller Williams at the time, but he was building his business by connecting with his clients exclusively online. Now, remember, this is 2009. This is 1 year after the first iPhone launched. So as far as technology timeline is concerned, that's an age ago. You know, in 2009, there was no such thing as Zoom or Google Meetings or webinars or anything like that. But Glenn Sanford believed that the traditional brick and mortar model of real estate was unnecessary. He believed, quite ahead of his time, that a multi-office, even national, and as it turns out international, real estate company could have all of its offices and its administrative staff in the cloud. And he believed that the massive cost saving that would represent to the company should be passed back to the agents themselves. He believed that a real estate company should be owned by the agents. They should be the shareholders in the company, and they should be compensated not just for the commissions that they get on their own transactions, but also for helping build the company based on their level of contribution. So fast forward the clock till today, eXp now has over 600 full-time employees who all work, now this is going to be a bit mind-blowing for you, in an avatar world with offices and training facilities in this avatar world, boardrooms, informal meeting areas, coffee areas. You can even go to the beach or play a game of soccer with other eXp agents from around the world in eXp's avatar world. It is incredible. And this is the great market disruptor. It may seem a bit like a video game to you, but just think about this. eXp as a company has now got over 50,000 agents, 600 full-time employees. They operate in 13 different countries and counting. They have a market cap of $7 billion US, having listed on the NASDAQ stock exchange a few years ago, and they don't own one office. Do you know how profitable that makes them as a company when compared to the traditional brick and mortar model of real estate that international companies like Remax and Keller Williams, or companies in South Africa like Pam Golding or C4 Chaz Everett or whatever? I'm not picking on those companies, but this is a completely market disruptive model. They are far more profitable, and why that is important is because their profitability enables them to compensate you as an agent far better, because there's so much more money going around. Okay, before we get into the actual model itself, which I'm excited to explain to you, I want to introduce you to the eXp South Africa team. eXp South Africa is led by Andrew Thompson. He is the broker of record, or the principal as we would call him, and he is surrounded by an exceptional team. There's a financial team. Then Amanda Ray heads up the administrative. She is an absolutely amazing lady and the head of all things administration at eXp. Then Robin Nell heads up the onboarding team. You'll actually deal extensively with Robin. If you join eXp, she'll help you get up and running and get familiar with all the systems. And then we've got transactional specialists that you'll work with on all of your transactions to help you with your paperwork and your administrative processes. Okay, so they're a great team. Can't wait for you to meet them. Let's get into the model itself now. What is it that eXp does that is so disruptive? Well, there are 4 pillars of benefit upon which the eXp model stands. Now, I'm going to tell you what they are in advance, and then we'll go through them one by one in a little bit more detail. So the first pillar is a phenomenal technology platform to build your own business as an agent. Pillar number 2 is world-class training, which no company in the world can compete with, and you're going to see why that is when we get into it. Pillar number 3 is the equity awards. So this is the opportunity to build up a shareholding in the company just by doing what you're already doing as an estate agent. Be given shares. And then the 4th pillar of benefit is the revenue sharing opportunity. So eXp share the revenues of the company with those agents who help them grow the company. Okay, so let's look at each one of those pillars in a little bit more detail now. The first pillar is the technology platform upon which you will build your business as an estate agent. Okay, what does it cost to join? Well, it's 800 Rand to join eXp, and then there is a monthly cloud fee of 800 Rand. There are no other fees, no hidden fees or costs over and above that. The 800 Rand per month covers everything that I'm going to talk about as we look at the platform. What is the split that you work on? Well, now listen carefully. Initially, you will be on a 71-29 split. Now, why do I say 71 when the slide on the screen says 75-25? Well, if you look at the bottom point on that screen, it says that there is, in addition to the 25% you pay eXp South Africa, there is a 4% international fee that you pay to eXp International. They take 0.5% of that and they actually reallocate it back into South Africa for social responsibility projects. Okay, so 71-29 split. But when you have paid in 150,000 Rand to eXp South Africa in a 12-month period, they cap you there, and from that point onwards, for the rest of that 12 months, you don't pay eXp South Africa anything. So you only pay the 4% to international from that point onwards. So until you've capped, you're on a 71-29 split. When you've capped, you've paid in your 150 for the rest of that year, you're on a 96% split with eXp, which is pretty exciting. Okay, the 800 Rand per month, what does that include? Well, obviously it includes access to eXp's avatar world. You get to create your avatar and you can go into the world to get tech support or transactional support or go to the marketing department or whatever it is that you want to do. And you get access to the world. You also get an eXp email address, obviously, and that gives you access to all of the technology and tools. Then you get a listing management system called REP, the real estate platform, which we use to load all of our listings. When you load your listings on the REP system, they will automatically syndicate from there to Private Property and Property 24, the two major portals. And you don't pay anything extra for your clicks or your leads. Your syndication to the portals is covered by your 800 Rand per month. Then you also get Lightstone membership with the valuations and deed searches that Lightstone system gives you access to. The last thing that I'll mention about the technology platform is that you get access to our workplace profile. Now, Workplace is it's an app developed by Facebook, but for companies. And eXp actually has one of the largest workplace profiles in the world. And when you go into Workplace, you can, at the click of a button, connect with any eXp agent in the world with a direct message to their phone, and you can network, you can form groups, you can join groups. It is an unbelievable place to communicate and to network with the fastest growing real estate company in the world. Okay, so that is the first pillar of benefit, and we can go into more detail about how all of those systems work as we get into conversations with you. Then lastly, before we get off the first pillar, this platform for you to run your own business, obviously one of the questions around the platform is, what happens with marketing materials? Well, you get marketing templates like you would at any other company for business cards and flyers and directional signage and all of that stuff, boards, and we will give you the artwork for that. You will need to produce those materials yourself, of course, as an independent business owner within eXp, but we give you the artwork. But there's more to be said about the beautiful branding and artwork that eXp provides us with. eXp take a flexible branding approach to their business. And what that is designed to do is to take into account people who already have an existing brand that they don't want to lose. Now, that may not apply to you. You may be coming from a big existing brand or just not want to keep the brand that you're working with at the moment. You will just trade as an eXp agent. But you may be someone who owns a small business and you have worked really hard over the last few years to build your brand. Your logo is recognized in your area and you don't want to lose it. Well, you don't have to. You can trade as that same brand that you're currently trading as, just powered by eXp, and there's marketing materials and templates available for all of that as well. So here's an example of a guy called Kyle Whistle's website. So you may know the name Kyle Whistle. He was recently voted the top estate agent in the world using video. And Kyle Whistle recently moved his whole team over to eXp, and they've chosen to maintain their brand, the Whistle Realty Group. But now, as you can see from their website, it's just Whistle Realty powered by eXp. And then, of course, there's any kind of marketing materials or swag that you would love to produce to build your brand. So the corporate branding, the materials, the templates are unbelievable with eXp, and I'm really excited about the branding. Okay, then the second pillar of eXp is the training. I said to you that they provide world-class training, better than any company in the world can compete with. Now, that is the case for two reasons. First of all, because of the eXp avatar world, there are literally scores of training facilities, boardrooms, small offices, auditoriums in not just the main campus of eXp, but each country within eXp has its own offices within eXp world, and each of those countries have their own auditorium and boardrooms and classrooms. And there is training taking place in many of those venues right throughout the day. And eXp can do that, and it costs nothing because they don't have any bricks and mortar. And so what eXp do is they publish a list of upcoming training events in all the countries several weeks in advance. You can just go onto that list, you can see what you like the look of. Hey, there's something coming up in the Canada auditorium on negotiation skills. There's something being done in Hong Kong on social media marketing. And you can literally just put it in your diary. At that time, you get into the world with your avatar, you go to the necessary training room, and you're in the auditorium and you're learning. It's absolutely phenomenal. You do your training in auditoriums like the one on your screen, and you can talk to the people around you. At the end of the presentation, you can walk up to the front of the auditorium. You can introduce yourself to the trainer. You can ask your questions. It's incredibly interactive. It is a phenomenal experience. Okay, I've said to you that that's the first reason, because of the online world. The second reason why their training is so good is because it is conducted by some of the top agents in the world. Now, how does this work? Well, eXp have a status which you can attain through your performance as an agent called Icon status. If you get the Icon Award, that's kind of like the top award for agents at eXp. In South Africa, you've got to do 5 million Rand gross commission in a 12-month period. So that's a pretty successful agent, and it's that level of agent all around the world. Now, when you become an Icon agent, what eXp do is they take your cap, which you would have paid in a long time ago in that 12-month period. In South Africa, that's 150,000 Rand you would have paid in before you capped. They take that 150,000 and they give it back to you in the form of eXp shares. But there's a catch. In order for the Icon agents to get their shares, they've got to do, or a percentage of their shares, they've got to do a certain number of hours training in eXp World. It's a brilliant system because they are incentivizing the top agents to train the other agents. And they have a series called the Icon Series, and you can go to Icon Series training anywhere in the world. And it's often a panel discussion, and these Icon agents are discussing what it is that they are doing that is working so well. So the training is phenomenal. I'll just say one last thing about the training. For those of you who know what I've done for the last 20 years, I have two flagship products. The first one is the Successful Real Estate Agent course, where I teach the best lead generation system on the planet. It is how to work by referral. The second program is the collation of this going virtual mentorship journey that I've taken these agents on recently. I've got all of the replays of all of those webinars, plus all of the how-to videos I've developed through that time. It's all in a course on my school, so you can literally start at the beginning and go on that mentorship journey yourself by watching the replays. So if you join our eXp group in South Africa, you are going to get both of those training courses, which is worth more than 15,000 Rand. You'll get it for free as a member of my group, which I hope you find is exciting. Okay, so that is the second pillar of benefit of eXp, is the training. The third pillar is the equity awards. You know, this is so exciting because most agents work for many, many years for the company or companies that they work for, and they walk out at the end of the day with zero equity. They don't own any part of the business. And I'd ask you, where you're working at the moment, have they given you shares in the company? Probably not. Well, this is what eXp do. It is an agent-owned business. And a few years ago, eXp listed on the NASDAQ stock exchange. Go and look at what the eXp share price has done. It's quite phenomenal. And this is a picture of the eXp board of directors when they listed the company. And we took our place with Apple and Cisco and PepsiCo, with all the big boys. And then this is a picture of Glenn Sanford shutting down the world markets. It's an honor they give to companies that list on the NASDAQ. Okay, so how do you get given shares in this company? I keep saying you get given shares. You do. Well, I'm going to list a couple of the ways to you. This is not all of them, but I'm going to give you some of them. The first way you get given shares is simply by doing at least one deal a year. So the first deal that you do as an estate agent every year, eXp will give you 2,000 Rands worth of eXp shares. Then when you cap every year, if you cap, you pay in your 150,000, they'll give you 4,000 Rands worth of shares. Then if you sponsor another agent into eXp, so if you tell another estate agent about eXp, they get excited, they want to join, you become their sponsor. When they do their first deal as an eXp agent, eXp give you, their sponsor, 4,000 Rands worth of eXp shares. And that's for each person you introduce. Then eXp have an incredible program called the Agent Equity Program. This is a voluntary program. You don't have to participate, but I would strongly recommend that you do, whereby eXp will withhold an additional 5% of your commissions, and they will buy eXp shares for you at a 10% trading discount. And you're not going to miss that extra 5% if it doesn't get put into your bank account. They just keep it, they buy shares for you. If you work as an estate agent for the next 5 years or 10 years, can you imagine the asset base, US dollar-based asset base that you are building up, and you're not even missing it? And who knows what the share price is going to do over the next 5 or 10 years as eXp go from 50,000 agents to 1 million agents in 200 countries, which is what their goal is, and they're on track for that. Then the last way of getting equity that I want to mention is the Icon Award. I did mention this earlier, so I won't go into detail, but if you do in South Africa 5 million Rand gross commission, they give you your 150,000 Rand cap back in eXp shares. It is an incredible deal. Then the fourth pillar of benefit that makes eXp so special, and this really is where the magic is their revenue sharing model. I said to you earlier that if you were to introduce another agent to eXp, which you can do, by the way, just by taking them to this website, sitting down with them and watching the video with them. You don't have to explain anything yourself, just watch the video together. If they get excited and they join eXp, you become their sponsor. Now they take their place on what we call your first tier. First tier agents are people that you have personally sponsored into eXp. And eXp, as you will see from the screen, will pay you up to 21,000 Rand of that agent's commissions every year, as long as they're working as an agent. And that, of course, counts for as many agents. If you do 10 agents that you introduce, it'll be 10 times up to 21,000 Rand. So it's per agent. But it doesn't stop there. If the people you introduce to eXp, if they know a few people in real estate and they show the opportunity to them, some of those people join, they then fall on what we call your second tier. And eXp will actually pay you more of the revenue share of agents on your second tier than your first tier. You get paid up to 24,000 Rand for each agent on your second tier. And so it goes down all the way to 7 tiers. You can see that on the slide on the screen. Now, what is the catch here? Do you just earn this money regardless? Well, there is one qualification criterion, and that's in the right-hand side of that slide. In order to earn the revenue share on your respective tiers, you have to unlock each of those tiers before you begin earning. Now, how do you unlock your tiers? Well, it all depends on how many active agents you have personally enrolled into eXp. So these are agents on your first tier. And as you'll see from the slide on the screen, when you have enrolled 5 active agents personally, you will then unlock your second tier. What's an active agent? Well, an agent that just does 2 deals per year. When you've got 10 or more personally enrolled active agents, you unlock your third tier. And then it's 15 for the fourth tier, 20 for the fifth, 25 for the sixth, and 40 for the seventh tier. So if you want to earn on your seventh tier, which is actually your most profitable tier, you need to have 40 agents personally enrolled on your first tier. Okay, so if that's a little bit cloudy, no problem. We can explain that to you when we have a follow-up discussion with you. One of the exciting things about this is that you don't have to enroll people only in South Africa or whatever country you are joining in. eXp offers us literally a sponsorship without borders opportunity. You may know someone in Canada or Hong Kong or India or Portugal or Mexico or any of the countries as you see on the screen, and any of the countries eXp will then open up into the future. You can place a call to those agents, show them the video that you're currently watching. We can get them the local currency equivalents, and if they join, you will become their sponsor from here, no problem. And then you'll earn a passive income on all of their transactions and anybody that they introduce all the way down to 7 levels. It is an incredible global passive income opportunity. Okay, so I want to show you what a 5-year exit plan could look like. I said to you at the beginning of today that eXp offers you an exit plan for real estate, so you don't have to be an agent until you drop dead. If you were, for example, over the next 5 years, to introduce just 2 agents per year, could you do that? Could you show this video to 2 agents per year for the next 5 years? And they decide to join eXp with you? Well, in that case, you would have 10 people who've joined you, and if they each did the same thing, 10 agents each sponsoring 2 people per year for 5 years, you would then have 100 agents on your second tier. If that's all you did in a 5-year period with no other growth in your subsequent tiers, you would earn a passive income of 2.6 million Rand per year for the rest of your life, as long as those people are working as agents. You yourself do not have to be working. This is the power of the revenue sharing model, and this revenue sharing model, my friends, has made many people wealthy, many people, and you can go online and you will find that to be true as you do your homework. Okay, so if you are now at least intrigued, perhaps you're excited about this incredible technology platform to be able to run your own business, you love the idea of keeping 96% of your commissions, you love the idea of getting given tens of thousands of rands worth of shares in eXp for doing what you're already doing as an agent, you love the idea of world-class training from the best agents on the planet, and you love the idea of having an exit plan by building up a passive income through the revenue sharing model, then I'm going to suggest 3 things to you that you take as your next steps. First of all, complete the initial part of the join application on eXp's website. You will find that at expsouthafrica.co.za/join. When you go to that page, you're going to see a page that looks like this. On the left-hand side, you will click the button that says Become an Agent. You will then tick the little Terms and Conditions box and click I'm ready, and that'll take you to this page with a form on it. Fill in that form. This will not move you to eXp, but it will trigger an email from eXp's system with a link to the contract in it. And I want you to read through the contract. You don't want to sign something you haven't read and thought about. And in fact, when you meet with the person who showed you this today, you might want to have read through the contract already so that you've got questions that you can ask. So this is part of your due diligence. Fill in the first part of the Join app and get access to the contract. All right, secondly, schedule some time to meet with the person who showed you this today. They will be able to answer your questions and they will help you take the next step if you are keen to join our team. And make a list of questions and then get back together with your friend within the next few days while things are still fresh on your mind. That's the second thing I'd encourage you to do. And then there's one last thing that I want to suggest. Do what we call a Save Me beta test. What is the Save Me beta test? Well, why don't you show this video to 1 or 2 of your best friends in real estate? Don't try to explain it to them over the phone in advance. Just tell them that you want 40 minutes of their time, that you're excited about a new model in real estate, but you want their opinion on it. And you'd love to get together with them and show it to them. Take your laptop, go and meet them in a quiet place somewhere, and simply play the video and watch it together. And you might find that you have a few people who want to join you immediately. Well, I hope you decide to join us, and I look forward to meeting you at one of our upcoming events. Cheers for now.